Alrighty, I'm going to show you how to do pendulum movements first. Obviously we do pendulum movements when we do our powder brows, our lip blushing. The point of pendulum movements is your needle has full contact with the skin when you swing it away from you and you swing it towards you. Firstly, also how you hold your machine is not like a pen. You cradle it in between these two fingers and your thumb basically stabilizes the machine. These two fingers swing back and forward so that your needle has contact with your skin at all times. That is going to create nice saturation, but it's also going to create a nice soft pixelated look. You do not want heavy saturation when you are doing eyebrows, so therefore your hand movements need to be quick, need to be nice and fast, so that you can get that nice soft pixelated look in your powdered brows. Before we begin to shade, I'm going to switch my machine on and just check that my voltage correct. Generally I work on a 6.5 volt because my hand movements are quite quick. So the rule of thumb is if your hand movements are quick, your machine speed needs to be quick, and if they are slow, then the machine needs to be slow too. Alrighty, so I'm going to begin shading. The rule of thumb also with your shade is you start from the one line and you move towards the top line. It's basically like creating lines, but you've got to watch your dots. You've got to make sure that you move across that section slowly, otherwise you're going to get gaps. And you move back down to the bottom. Moving slowly across the section, watching your dots, making sure you're getting enough dots in that area. Before you gently kick it out, overlap your work. You've got to overlap 50% into this work, and you move back up to the top line. Again, slowly. Keep your hand movements consistent. Keep your speed consistent, keep your rhythm consistent as well as you move back down to the bottom. If you do not work and overlap your work, shall I say overlap your work, then you are going to get sections in your brow and you're going to notice it. This helps blend your work as well, so you don't have gaps, you don't have sections, gives you a nice beautiful overall shade. See, I'm keeping that rhythm even and consistent. You don't need to dip a lot. You don't need to put a lot of pressure. Right, now I'm going to check. Machine off and check. So you can see I've got a beautiful shade. Beautifully blended, no sections created. And I've worked slowly and I've created beautiful pixels. That's what it's going to look like in your brow. If I had to go back now and begin shading, remember you've got to overlap your work. So I've got to overlap to that section and make sure that I shade into this area. Otherwise, you're going to end up with sections and patchiness. That's why it's very important to wipe away your work regularly and check your work. Check that you're getting the pigment into the skin and the pigment doesn't look patchy. There's not areas that are darker than other areas. You've got to keep your swing and your shade consistent so that you can avoid that. Okay, so I'm going to start my shade. Always starting from your tail. Really make sure that your back and forward swings here are nice and tight. The tighter obviously your shade, the more saturation you are going to get in an area. Do not move across until you feel like you have enough dots in that area. And basically you will not see skin. It's just going to be pigment and if you wipe away you'll see that you'll have good saturation. And if I feel like I've got enough dots in there, I'm going to move forward. Remember I said always overlap your work. Keep it consistent, work it from the bottom line to the top line, back down to the bottom line, and then kick it out ever so slightly. Give it a wipe and check.
Beautiful saturation. Now I'm going to move on.
Now, as you'll notice, as I'm working in the body of the brow, my swings are going to start becoming a little bit longer because obviously I don't want to do too much in this section. I want to keep it light. There must be space in between my dots. That's how you're going to get that soft powdered effect. So increase your swing size so you can get a softer, more pixelated look. Again, check. See how nice and soft it is in the middle?
And we keep our swings longer the further we go to the front. Again, don't forget to overlap. Then that work.
Don't be scared to also work in the front, girls, especially in your first pass. Make the most of your first pass. Make sure you get a sufficient amount of dots in them. Alright, I'm happy with that. First pass done and dusted. We're going to move now to the second pass. So our second pass, we are going to focus a lot on saturating and building up pigment in the base of the brow and in the tail. So basically, if you draw a line
in the middle of the body, this section here is where you want to build up pigments. However, you need to also blend it into this top section here. We are going to avoid this top section. We're going to work very lightly because we do not want to oversaturate this area. The top section needs to be nice and light and fluffy. Also, when you're doing your outline, be very careful with doing your outline too strong on the top here, because otherwise you're going to have to pack a ton of pigment just to saturate that area to kind of blend the line. So if you're wanting something nice and soft, make sure your outline is soft too. Alrighty, so let's build up our pigment in our second pass. Again, starting from the tail, just pack your pigment.
Again, work lightly. Don't work too much on the top. Couple of dots just to kind of blend it, but lightly, and move back down to the bottom and keep packing in the base of the brow.
See how that bottom starts to build up beautifully?
Okay, that's good enough for my second pass. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do some cross hatching for my third pass, just kind of going to blend everything together. And the way I do this is I sit behind my clients, so I'm going to turn this around, and I normally start from the base of the brow and I work up towards me. And don't be scared to work outside the template ever so slightly, because that's going to give you more softer edges and you're going to get that more pixelated look. So remember, you're whip shading from the base of the brow up, and you see I'm going at an angle. This is going to give you that dark to light gradient. Say for instance you want to build some more pigment at the bottom of the eyebrow only, and you want to make it a little bit dark as well. You can do shorter cross hatching movements from the base up, and you can only focus basically on the bottom section, and you just kind of whip through that bottom part. It's going to also just get that bottom line a little bit darker, but it's also going to just help blend. If you want to fluffen up the tops as well, you can just do a little soft whip shading just outside the template, just to kind of fluffen the edges up even further. Don't be scared to work outside your template. Honestly, you really have to do so much in order for you to see it. You see, there's nothing there hardly, but the pixels are going to help soften your edges beautifully. So you're not going to have that like the hectic line, you know, it's going to be nice and soft. Don't be scared to work in the fronts. But now I'm also going to do another little round at the bottom here, because I just want to make it nice and dark. Got to have that gradient that goes dark to light, otherwise it just looks like one solid brown. I'm happy with that. I do, however, feel I can add more dots into areas where it might not have taken as well. There might be little gaps in your brow, and you just want to kind of fill it out without having oversaturate the area. So this is where you use your pointillism technique. You just make light dots just to kind of fill spots. Great technique also to use in your touch-ups. Clients come back with perfect eyebrows, but they've got gaps. All you really need to do is fill in the gaps. Don't go over the whole entire brow because you're just going to oversaturate it. It's going to be one dark brow. If you are happy with your client's saturation in the touch-up, don't do a second session. Just fill in the little gaps. Trust me. The less pigment in the skin, the better.